Edward Warren and Lorraine Warren appear at the beginning of the film, where they talk about their supernatural and paranormal experiences during a conference. In the following scene, Carolyn Perron and Roger Perron are shown moving into a new house together with their children. All of their kids step inside the house, but their scared dog refuses to enter the home. They have 5 daughters named Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. April discovers a music box placed under a large tree that has a mirror attached to it. While playing a game of hide and clap, the girls accidentally break a wooden plank. That broken plank was actually covering a hidden door behind it. When their father investigates, he discovers a dark storage room filled with a piano and various antique objects. Suddenly, their restless dog starts barking non-stop as if it has seen something. The next morning, Carolyn wakes up and notices several marks and wounds on her foot. All the clocks in the house are stuck at 3:07, and April later finds their dog dead outside. In the next scene, Edward is shown with a news reporter inside his basement museum, where he and his wife keep all the cursed objects. Edward tells the reporter that everything inside the room is either cursed or has been involved in witchcraft. He explains that these spirits are believed to gather here for worship once every month. Edward then describes the Annabelle doll, which carries a dark demonic force that uses it as a vessel. After that, the story shifts back to the Perron house where the clock once again stops at 3:07. While everyone is asleep, something tries to grab Christine's foot on her bed, and she also senses a terrible smell. Cindy is a sleepwalker, and she ends up in Andrea's room, where she strangely hits her head against the wardrobe. The next day, Carolyn notices another new wound on her back. When Roger steps outside, he sees a dead pigeon falling down from a tree. He is shocked and confused after witnessing it. April and Carolyn are alone in the house, but Carolyn sees April speaking to someone even though no one is there. April then asks her mother to play hide and clap. When Carolyn goes to Andrea's room to look for her, the wardrobe suddenly opens on its own and a figure claps with its hands coming out. Carolyn gets startled as April calls her from behind, but she mostly ignores it. Something violently pulls Christine's foot, trying harder to wake her up this time. In fear, she sees a figure standing behind the door who threatens to kill her and the entire family. Nancy is with her, but she cannot see anything, though the foul smell is still present. Christine then tells everything to Roger and the rest of the family. By this time, Carolyn's body is covered with many wound marks. She then hears the sound of children playing. She believes it might be her daughters and goes to check, but finds them all asleep. Suddenly, a strange event occurs as all the photo frames begin falling down on her. She then hears the voice of a girl and tries to follow it. When she reaches near the basement door suddenly opens. She hears another sound and tries to run away, but the door forcefully shuts on her, causing Carolyn to fall down the stairs while a ball is thrown at her by something. She tries to escape again, but only darkness surrounds her. Carolyn then lights a matchstick to see what is around her. A pair of hands suddenly rises and claps in front of her, scaring her badly, and she becomes trapped there. Cindy once again hits her head against the wardrobe inside Andrea's room. Seeing this, Andrea carries Cindy back to her bed to let her sleep. Suddenly, the wardrobe door opens by itself. Andrea opens it to check inside, but finds nothing. Then she sees the ghostly appearance of a woman on top of the wardrobe, which suddenly attacks her. Roger arrives home and hears the sound of someone crying around the area. First, he opens the basement door and pulls Carolyn out from inside. They both go upstairs and gather all the children in one place. At this point, everyone is extremely frightened. In the next scene, a university is shown where Edward is giving a lecture about supernatural events, while Carolyn is also present in the audience. After the lecture ends, Carolyn approaches Edward and Lorraine and invites them to come to her house. After listening to everything, Edward and Lorraine head over to her house. Carolyn and Roger explain the full situation, saying that things are getting worse every single day. They describe that the house always has a terrible foul odor. The door is knocked 3 times every night. Any bird that enters their home ends up dead in the yard, and all the clocks in the house are frozen at 3:07. Edward tells them that all these events clearly point toward the presence of an evil force. After that, they go down to the basement, and while being there, Lorraine senses something is not right and asks Carolyn to explain every incident in detail. Edward starts recording everything. Meanwhile, Lorraine begins looking into April's friend. During this, April gives her the music box. While the music box is playing, Lorraine sees the spirit of a young boy named Rory inside the mirror, the same one she had asked April about. After that, they go to the tree where the music box was first found. There, Lorraine spots the same ghostly figure that had been disturbing this family. Then Lorraine explains that this house is occupied by an extremely strong demonic presence, a very powerful spirit. She also says she has seen a dark shadow standing behind Carolyn, Roger, and all the children. That dark entity is always following them, and it has attached itself so strongly that even if they leave the house, it will continue to chase them. Edward then says that an exorcism must be done here, but they first need permission from the church. They must provide solid proof to the church before it can be approved. Lorraine adds that many spirits exist in this house, but only one of them is truly evil. Edward later plays the recorded tape at night, but all he can hear is only his own voice. There is no sound of Roger or Carolyn on the recording. Lorraine then explains the past of this land to Edward, saying that a man once built a farmhouse here and married a woman named Bathsheba, who practiced dark witchcraft. She sacrificed her 7-day-old baby by burning it, and when her husband caught her doing it, she hanged herself from a tree. After that tragic event, many strange deaths took place there, including a lost child named Rory. Overcome with sorrow, the mother of that child also took her own life in the house's storage room. A neighbor also ended up committing suicide, and another child drowned in a swimming pool nearby. While they're talking, the recorder suddenly turns on by itself. At that moment, Edward's voice is heard mixed with a terrifying, ghostly sound. This happens exactly when the clock reaches 3:07. The next morning, Edward and Lorraine go to Roger's house to collect all possible evidence so they can present it to the church. A police officer named Brad and a boy named Drew assist them by setting up voice recorders and cameras around the house. Lorraine looks at the family photo of Carolyn and, using her ability, realizes it captures a very important and meaningful moment. Edward spreads holy water in every room to provoke the evil force so that it reacts and can be captured on record. Suddenly, the basement door swings open on its own, and Edward and Lorraine head down there. But when they search inside, they fail to discover anything and decide to head back out. Just then, the door suddenly slams shut on its own. That night, they leave the place without any solid proof. The next morning, everyone is seen calmly enjoying breakfast. Edward tells Carolyn to take some rest while he and Lorraine will handle everything. Later, while Lorraine is collecting dry clothes from outside, she spots the ghost of Bathsheba standing right behind the hanging fabric. In an instant, the clock suddenly moves on its own and gets stuck on Carolyn's bedroom window. As it shifts away, Lorraine clearly sees Bathsheba's spirit. Before she can even reach there, Bathsheba takes control of her body. At the same time, police officer Brad hears a strange girl's voice, and when he looks up, he sees a maid-like ghost, which shocks him deeply. After that, Nancy starts sleepwalking into Andrea's room, and the door of that room locks itself. Cameras capture Nancy's sleepwalking, and it becomes clear that something else is present with her. Everyone rushes toward the room, but they are unable to find her. Edward uses an ultraviolet light while searching and eventually finds Nancy trapped in a narrow hidden space between the walls. April then tells Lorraine that Rory always hides in that exact place whenever he gets scared. Lorraine quickly rushes to that location. There, she finds children's toys, the music box, and the rope Bathsheba used to hang herself. Suddenly, a wooden plank breaks, causing Lorraine to fall down into the storage area. Looking into the music box mirror, she sees the sorrowful spirit of Rory's mother crying intensely. The ghost of Rory's mother then vanishes after saying, "It made me do it," and immediately Bathsheba's spirit appears, terrifying Lorraine. As Lorraine tries to escape, Bathsheba reverses the situation and pulls her necklace. The necklace snaps and falls to the ground. It was a gift from her daughter Judy. Once she gets outside, Lorraine explains that these evil forces force mothers to kill their own children. She adds that Carolyn is now under the same influence, and that is what is causing the marks on her body. Suddenly, all the crucifixes begin falling to the floor, and an unseen force grabs Nancy's hair and drags her. But they manage to rescue Nancy just in time. The Perron family then decides to leave the house, and Edward tells Roger that they will take all the evidence to the church for an exorcism. Meanwhile, Lorraine suddenly hears the voice of her daughter Judy and sees her lifeless body inside a swimming pool. She becomes terrified after witnessing it. Shaken and emotional, she tells Edward everything about what she saw. The next day, Edward and Lorraine present all the events and collected evidence to the priest. They also show the sleepwalking photo of Nancy, where Rory's spirit can clearly be seen standing beside her. The priest explains that they need approval from a higher authority for the exorcism because they are not Catholics. Now the story shifts to Edward and Lorraine's daughter, Judy. Bathsheba's spirit reaches her through her locket. It grabs Judy's foot, waking her up suddenly. Frightened, she runs outside looking for her parents. It is also revealed that the Annabelle doll has gone missing from the basement. When Bathsheba returns, she is seen sitting there with the Annabelle doll resting in her lap. Bathsheba tries to scare Judy and harm her, but Edward and Lorraine arrive just in time and save their daughter. On the other side, Carolyn takes Christine and April with her. Roger immediately informs Edward after learning this. Lorraine explains that these evil forces are trying to manipulate mothers into killing their own children. Everyone rushes back to the house. By the time they arrive, Carolyn is already about to attack Christine. They save Christine and place her inside the car. Seeing everything unfold, April gets terrified and runs away from the scene. While they attempt to pull Carolyn out of the house, the spirit blocks their path and tries to attack her. Lorraine realizes that once Carolyn steps outside, the ghost will instantly kill her. Then the evil force drags Carolyn straight into the storage room. They rush in to rescue her, but the demon uses its power to worsen her condition, making it far from easy to save her. Meanwhile, the police officer is still searching for April inside the house. At this point, Carolyn is no longer in control of herself and begins attacking everyone one after another. They manage to restrain her by tying her to a chair, but her condition keeps getting worse. Seeing how serious it has become, Edward decides to begin the exorcism. As soon as Edward starts the ritual, Bathsheba's hold weakens, but its dark power becomes even more aggressive. Still, Edward continues the exorcism without stopping. Then the spirit lifts the chair into the air, trying to interrupt the ritual. After that, it slams the chair down violently, breaking it apart. Because of this, Carolyn breaks free and attempts to attack Edward. At the same time, the officer finally finds April. When Carolyn learns this, she moves toward her to kill her. But just before she can reach her, Edward completes the exorcism in time. Under Edward's command, Bathsheba agrees to leave, but Carolyn is still under its influence. Lorraine and Roger step in to help, reminding her of her children and family memories to bring her back. With the emotional strength of her family's love, Carolyn slowly begins to fight against the possession. In the end, the bond with her children overpowers the evil force, and the spirit unwillingly releases her and disappears. Carolyn finally returns to normal, and peace comes back to the family. Later, April gives Lorraine's locket back to her. Edward then stores the music box inside his basement museum. And that is where the story comes to an end.